AMC's debt is something that everyone keeps talking about. But what if that's a part of the story that everyone gets wrong? Before you decide to invest, you should always do your own study. First, let's talk about something that's been getting a lot of attention lately, a comparison map that first showed up in a social media post. This chart shows two different times when Adam Aron, CEO of AMC, wrote his now famous "To the Moon" message next to each other. What's interesting is how much the present price action looks like what happened in 2021. The structure, speed, and even the emotional beat of the market are all following a pattern that's hard to miss. We've always talked about how important historical data is on this channel. It's not because history repeats itself, but because it often rhymes. The rhyme scheme is getting very loud now. This pattern might be about to start a major upward trend if it keeps going the way it did before. On top of that, references to larger markets add another layer of support. Recently, someone noticed that the prices of companies that are losing a lot of money, like $1 billion a year, still behave in a way that is similar to stocks like GameStop, but about 6 to 12 months later. Don't just write that off as a chance when you see that kind of link. It instead points to deeper structural links, possibly linked to complicated tools like swaps or secret ownership systems that regular investors never get to see. To make things even more interesting, let's add Avis, which trades under the name CAR, and just recently had its own short squeeze. There are a lot of parallels between its chart and GameStop's. There's the same type of spike, the same amount of time for prices to drop, and even the same trends of volatility. Even though the numbers might not be the same, the behavior is. That tells us something important. It's not just these stocks that are moving. They are part of a bigger basket that has been heavily shorted and often controlled. This is where it really gets interesting. Avis was able to squeeze even though it had to deal with many of the same problems that AMC and GameStop did, such as fake shares and shorting pressure. What's the main difference? Most likely, it wasn't quieted down as much. Since it had more room to move, it could handle more pressure. It begs the question why Avis wasn't able to do that first. What will happen when the same pressure is taken off of AMC and GameStop? Taking a look at the basics gives this story another layer. Avis was able to grow by more than 700% even though it was losing almost $1 billion and owing about $25 billion. Take a moment to think about that. If that company can be pushed that far, what happens when you put the same conditions on a company that is getting its finances in better shape and has a lot of cash on hand? There's a change in the story about AMC's debt that makes it seem less scary and more like a chance ready to happen. Of course, AMC's debt has always been seen as a big weakness by critics. There is something like that. It's not being left alone. But the unfairness is clear when the same critics don't notice similar or even worse problems in other businesses that still grow quickly. The most important thing here is direction. Plus, AMC has been working hard to strengthen its foundations, get more money, and set itself up for long-term success. That is the exact thing that short sellers don't want to happen. Actually, there's a strong case that some market forces have been trying to stop AMC from raising money in the best way possible. Why? Because getting rid of the debt takes away one of the strongest reasons to bet against the company. And short sellers are taking on a lot more risk if that case goes away. Let's change the subject a bit and talk about price goals. There's been a lot of talk about analyst predictions. Some say the average gold price is around $3.54. Others say to go as high as $680, and still others say to go as low as 29 cents. On the other hand, a model-based prediction says that prices will average $32 and hit a high of $65. At first look, that might sound like a good thing, but when you think about how a squeeze works, it makes sense. But here's the catch. Price goals can sometimes be psychological traps. If people think that $32 is the highest point, they might sell when that level is hit, even if the stock could go much higher. Early selling eases the pressure on short sellers and stops a full-scale squeeze from happening. This kind of behavior has been seen before. These goals are good for keeping track of things, but don't think of them as limits. Options trading is another important factor right now. A huge number of call options are sitting at the $2 strike price, especially for options that expire soon. In other words, if AMC regularly goes above $2, market makers might have to buy shares on the open market to protect their holds. This can start a feedback process that drives the price up, which can then cause more people to buy, which could lead to a gamma squeeze. And that's exactly the kind of thing that some groups want to avoid. Aside from the technical stuff, there are also rumors that strategic agreements are being made behind the scenes. One possibility that has been talked about a lot is that David Ellison and Adam Aron are connected in some way, possibly through bigger moves in the industry like mergers and marketing deals. Even though nothing is official yet, the rumors show that AMC could gain from both the way the market works and real business growth. When we talk about business plan, AMC has been running its business in a smart way. One example is putting out old, famous movies again. AMC isn't leaving screens empty between big movies. Instead, it's using its huge spread of over 10,000 screens to make extra money. AMC has a clear edge in terms of size compared to competitors like Cinemark, which has a lot fewer screens. Because of this, it can take advantage of revenue possibilities in ways that others can't. Even though AMC is the biggest movie theater chain in the world, its share price is still lower than those of its competitors. That's exactly why a lot of people think the stock is too cheap. If AMC's profits go up, which they seem likely to, the market might have to reevaluate how much it's really worth. When it comes to investor behavior, there's another important factor to think about. A lot of the buyers right now have been fans for a long time. But if the price starts to rise quickly, say to $60 or more, a lot of new buyers will likely jump out of fear of missing out. This increase in demand can make price changes even bigger, starting a loop that keeps going and going. There are more red flags in the banking system on the macro level. A more unstable market is likely because big banks have a lot of exposure to derivatives. Liquidity is getting tighter, and capital requirements are going up. When institutions have too much debt and are put under pressure to cut their losses, they may have to close out holdings, even short positions. And that release could be the last thing that sets off large-scale squeezes. When you look at the bigger picture of the economy, the options pressure, the historical patterns, the comparative squeezes, and the better fundamentals, it's hard to ignore what you see. AMC is not just moving around at random. It's a small part of a bigger plan that has been coming together for years. Additionally, if things keep going as planned, the next move could be much bigger than most people think. That's all we have for you today. Guys, what do you think about AMC stock? Join in and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for seeing it.